So here we are again, back by unpopular demand. But tonight we're starting something a little bit new. I'm not going to do a video reaction. In fact, I'm not going to react at all. What I'm going to do is introduce and present. As you know, I'm a filmmaker for a given value of that term. I've spent my entire life making television and videos, broadcast and non-broadcast. And then in 1999, my partner and I, out of South Africa, in a company called the Boom Boom Boys, contacted Marillion and proposed that we come to Oxford to their fan convention and make some video for them. We even proposed that we pay for that ourselves, and if they liked what they saw, we could talk about doing some more stuff. Long story short, we came, we made, we showed, they liked, we continued to make. So between 1999 and about 2005, we made a series of concert movies and documentaries and music videos and various other things with the band. And to be perfectly honest, it was the high point of my professional career. I have never, ever enjoyed work more. I've never been more fulfilled and satisfied. And in a way, I grew into that name that I use for this channel, dodgyCam. I'd been, since the advent of the small dodgyCam camera, since domestic cameras and professional cameras started to reach that crossover point where what was domestic and what was professional was not so much important as what was broadcastable and what wasn't. I had been operating cameras on my own shoots in South Africa. I'd been operating second unit or third unit, and I'd been sort of playing with the camera. But in 1999, when we came here to the UK, to Oxford, it was the first time that I really used the camera in anger, if you like. My partner, his base skill was editing and camera work, but I was a writer and director. So here I was in a situation of being forced to learn a new skill set and learn fast and think very hard about how you compose a frame and how you comport yourself and handle yourself as a cameraman. It was professionally incredibly satisfying. And the reality is, we've produced some stuff of which I am deeply, deeply proud, a lot of which has never really been seen outside of the Marillion fan base, and even then only by a small percentage, a small fraction of the Marillion fan base. Now, some of my work is online, on YouTube. Some I put up there, but mostly it was put up there by other people, shared by other people, and has been viewed, sometimes a few hundred times, sometimes a few thousand times, sometimes a few 100,000 times. But what I thought that I should do is, given that I've got this channel and this opportunity, I thought that I'd share some of the work that gives me joy and makes me proud with you, particularly the deep pulls, particularly the bonus material, the alternatives, the different bits and pieces that we put together at the point that the DVD came along. And the first thing I want to show you is the piece that kind of inspired me to do this. As a bonus feature on Shot in the Dark, we did a cut, and I don't quite know why we didn't do the cut for the main movie, but we did a cut of The Great Escape from those 4 nights in Oxford in 1999. And it is singularly one of my favorite performances of that song by Steve Hogarth. It is singularly one of the most powerful performances in my memory of it. But it's also a pretty good piece of filmmaking. And I say that in the context of this. We shot for 4 nights with, I think it was 3 cameras. 1 camera locked off on the stage multiple times. 1 camera in the hands of my partner at the back of the room, the proper grown-up camera, and a small handheld camera in my hands. So over those 4 nights, we shot basically the same set, but Marillion never played it at the same tempo. And the lighting designer was designing on the fly. So for the first night's light design was entirely different from the 4th night's light design, and each night was separate. So back in the edit suite, in theory, we had these 4 nights and these 3 camera angles. It might have been 4, but I think it was 3 camera angles. In theory, we had all of this coverage, but the truth is, it was complicated because it was multiple tempos and multiple lighting states. And so with that first movie, we had to get incredibly creative and almost treat each song in a unique way to try and, in some ways, hide the failings, the different lighting states, the different the nature of the different cameras, the tempo changes. But in a way, that weakness became an expression of strength, because I believe we created a series of quite unique little films that became this concert movie. And The Great Escape was left off the concert movie, but was in some ways one of my favorite films. It's a sepia treatment. It's graded and cut in a particular way. If you watch very closely, you can see my partner, Jace, the incredibly talented editor, pulling sync on the vocals so that he might be speeding up or slowing down the start of the shot as we frame in, or as we fade in, or the end of the shot as we fade out, because he's using the shot from the moment that it's in sync to the moment that it goes out of sync again. And then he's finding those extensions by literally changing the timing of the picture to pull the sync in and out as the tempo was changing, as the delivery was slightly different every night. So from a technical film editing point of view, in a lot of ways, what might seem relatively simple and seamless was actually an incredible technical challenge. And Jason and I worked for 4 nights a week from 6 o'clock at night till midnight, Monday through Thursday, on a borrowed edit suite for 6 months to deliver just the basic concert movie that we delivered to Marillion. And then having put the VHS on the market for the DVD bonus material, we worked a further series of months on our own edit suite that we'd bought by then, after hours, unpaid, doing the corporate work that was paying our bills during the day, and doing the work that was the love of the work at night. And yes, we then, when the things went on sale, Marillion very kindly shared the profit with us. So ultimately, we made a little bit of money out of the deal, and we plowed a lot of that money back into buying more tech to do more work, both for our corporate clients and for the band. So this was a period of my life that I enjoyed probably the most, that I take the most pride in. And I thought I'd be remiss if I didn't at least try to share these little gems with you. And this first one is Marillion, The Great Escape, filmed over 4 nights at the Zodiac Club in Oxford in 1999, and is possibly one of my favorite Marillion performances of all time. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the other things that I'm going to start sharing intermittently along the way, if only because I'm very proud of them. And I hope you might see why, and you might even get some enjoyment out of them yourselves. So, see you next time. Until then, watch The Great Escape and keep the faith.
Heading for the great escape, heading for the rain, heading for the permanent holiday, heading for the winter trip, heading for the slide, heading for the dignified walk away, heading for the open road, goodbye to all that, heading for the
Picture Artist Space, Steve Rather guitar, Ian Mosley drums. Thank you, Oxford. Good night.